Thanks a lot for Pax Europiana to watch this, the first 1000 subscribers. Now let me talk about church-state relation in Montenegro. I want to explain a bit the history of Montenegro, what has happened. It's important to understand that Montenegro involuntarily was incorporated in 1918 into the state of Serbia, and that was then called the Kingdom of Croatia, Slovenia and Serbia. Montenegro was not even mentioned. And it is like this, that this country was then basically swallowed, and so was the church. It was the Croatian Orthodox Church, swallowed. It was called Karlovici. It was in the Austrian Empire back then. And it was, of course, the Austrian parts of what is today Montenegro, the Kotor Bay, but also what was Montenegro independence country from 1878 to 1918 for 40 years, was then incorporated into the Serbian kingdom. And so was the church. So it was a hostile takeover of the church assets in 1918-19 after the end and the defeat of the Civil War. So the church assets of the Montenegro Church, of the Austrian Orthodox Church, of Karlovic were integrated in the Serbian church. That is theft. That's a hostile takeover. That's war booty, war of conquest, whatever you can justify. But ultimately that is the origin of this dispute. And now, with this so-called Ugovor, there was a contractat, a kind of a church-state treaty signed by the government in the summer, and then all this property has been transferred to the Serbian Orthodox Church, not to the Montenegrin, because contrary to all other Orthodox Church, with the exemption of Bosnia, there is no clear own national recognized Montenegrin Orthodox Church, and it's time to get this done. There is one, but it's controversial. We need, I think, a new one. I think that is the task what actually should be done, and there is a very clear case for that one, because also North Macedonia has it now, all countries in the Orthodoxy have it, and also Montenegro and also Bosnia should have one, separate from the Serb church, because that's the way the Orthodox churches are organized in a national kind of separate churches. That's not my invention, that's what all of them have. Take a look at Wikipedia. So it's time for a Montenegrin Orthodox Church. There is some smear campaign against the church. It can be, I'm not an investigative journalist, it can be all true. I know very well that the Serb Orthodox Church is awarding war criminals with medals, and with honors. So far for the Serb Orthodox Church. And they are very much against Ukraine so far for solidarity and Christian compassionate of the Serb Orthodox Church, and they're very happy to celebrate this massive land grab they have now done in the case of this treaty. I call for a Montenegrin Orthodox Church, and they should be given all the land which they had in 1918, and also the Austrian Orthodox Church had in the case of Montenegro in that territory. So all this land and all the assets should be returned to the Montenegrin Orthodox Church, and that should be the recognized church authority in Montenegro, because we are in Montenegro. And it was a big mistake to not separate the churches from the beginning after 2006 independence, but that was unfortunate, maybe too much to ask for, but then now it's time to get this done, and this is what should happen. That's the only logical way, and everything else is basically giving huge assets and land and income stream and opportunities to the Serb Orthodox Church in a country they are not really loyal to, and that's undermining the statehood of Montenegro, and that must be rejected by all good Europeans. So I call the authorities, the church authorities, to support the Montenegrin Orthodox Church and to integrate it into their own status, like we have done it now with the Ukraine Orthodox Church, the North Macedonian Orthodox Church, some recent recognition of that status, of Autocephalous status, and that's exactly what also Montenegro should have a own church, and a recognized one with all the assets to be transferred, which are from 1918 in their possession, and also the new ones, they should be returned, and there should be a loyal church to the state of Montenegro with enough assets to sustain itself, and that's the better policy. Thanks a lot. More to come from Pax Europiana on the campaign here for these beautiful moments of independent and EU member Montenegro. Bye.